Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 34 of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. We're almost at the end of this season, but before we get on to this week's predictions, let's have a quick look back at how well we got on in week 33.
So last time around I had an average week, I only had 5 points with one perfect result, that being Leicester to beat Palace 2-1.
And I didn't have a very good week at all, just coming away with 4 points, one perfect score, which was the Aston Villa and West Bromwich Albion Desmond 2-2 match. Representing the viewers last week was David, and David came away with just 2 points, a bit of a disaster, but I think looking at the scores overall, it wasn't a very high scoring week at all. But talking about top scorers, we didn't actually cover the week 32 top scorer in last week's video, but the top scorer for week 32 was Hassan Ali with 13 points and 3 perfect scores. And the top scorer for week 33 was Steph Curry with 8 points and 2 perfect scores overall. So as you can see, 8 points was the highest score. Not an amazing score, but quite a good one for week 33.
That would only be 4 out of 8 though. Correct.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Difficult week this week.
Yeah, it was. But let's have a quick look at how the predictions table now looks. So as you can see, Mahmoud Conte, top of the leaderboard again on 228 points. Actually, you can see Mahmoud only had 1 point, or Mamond I should say, only had 1 point last week. Myself there on those 4 points, 226 points, and David Redcliffe 2 points last week on 224 points overall. Screenboy 8 4th, Lewis Willard 5th, and the Dugout Football Channel in 6th position, Francis Bilardi in 7th, Becca and Dominic in 8th, Form VP in 9th, and David in 10th. So if I just slowly scroll down the table, you can see there Hassan Ali in 12th. Make sure, or can you spot yourself in the table? Nathan, you're there in 23rd position.
One, I believe.
Koza there in 29th, Abdullah Galib 36, SG Maya 37th. Going down, and this is where people sort of either have just started, as Stephen Curry there in 88th, all the way down to something like 250 places, something like that, 255. There we go. But that is enough of the predictions table. Let's see if we can catch up with Mamund this week, but that is enough of week 33. Let's just jump straight into it and week 33.
Okay, so first up we have the 8 o'clock game on Friday between Southampton and Leicester. Now Leicester really pushing for Champions League spots at the moment. They need to get a few more wins until they're guaranteed in there. They're currently in third position with 4 wins in 6. And then Southampton, I don't think they played last time around, so they do have a game in hand, in pretty patchy form, 2 wins in 6 and 4 losses. You could say that Leicester do have the upper hand on this one personally, especially with their form and everything, and their record at St Mary's, so I'm going to go for 3-1 Leicester.
Yeah, I'm going to go exactly the same as you, Nathan. 3-1 to the Foxes for me. Last week, okay, they found it a little bit tricky against Crystal Palace, but Iheanacho popping up in the second half with that absolutely splendid goal, cutting in from the right. Took it on, I think it was on his left foot, and absolutely blasting them into the back of the net. I think they're going to be too strong for this Southampton side, who were struggled since their early form at the start of the season. 3-1 for me. Next up, we've got the first game on Saturday taking place at 12:30. This is live on BT in the UK. We've got Crystal Palace coming up against Manchester City. Now Manchester City, of course, in Champions League action this evening, time of recording, playing Paris Saint-Germain, coming up against Crystal Palace team now in 13th position. But teams have not really struggled against them, but they find them a tough nut to crack. Zaha's there on the pitch causing chaos in the opposition ranks, but surely Manchester City, I know they're top of the table, pretty much got the Premier League title wrapped up, but I think they will be too strong for Crystal Palace. And how Crystal Palace are going to get past that Man City rearguard, I don't know, but it is at Selhurst Park. Nah, it's going to be a 2-0 away victory to the Citizens for me.
Yeah, Crystal Palace just really hibernate until the end of the season, and Man City, they really need to make a push, I think, just to make sure they seal the title and keep Man United as far away as possible. 4-0.
4-0, wow.
Next up, we got the only 3 o'clock on Saturday between Brighton and Leeds. Now, Brighton. Whenever I say you're going to win, you lose. I said 3-0 last time and you end up losing to Sheffield United. Brilliant, just brilliant, considering that Sheffield United in the last month or two as well. Leeds drawing last time round with Man United, no losses in 6, which is really good. Leeds are looking absolutely flying and actually could push above Everton maybe if things keep going well, and then even Spurs or Liverpool if any of those sides start to fall a bit, so they could get as high as 6th in the league, which would be quite mad. But yeah, I'm going to say a standard Leeds win here, 2-0, maybe more.
2-0. I don't think they're going to score too many goals against this Brighton team who don't actually concede that many. They don't actually score that many either. They have had 2 clean sheets in their last 3 matches, and 3 clean sheets in their last 6?
They haven't scored in 4 matches as well,
but they haven't scored last time they scored was that solitary goal against Manchester United. Leeds United,
a month ago now as well.
Leeds United, we know how well they start off on the front foot, go all the way through the 90 minutes, no let up. They have sort of tightened up a little bit at the back. We saw that with a 0-0 scoreline against Manchester United in the last fixture. So I think it's going to be another tight game. However, I do think Leeds are going to come through on top, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory. And incidentally, this one's on Amazon Prime if you're interested. Next up, we've got Chelsea coming up against Fulham. Now, of course, Chelsea were in action against Real Madrid last night, coming away with a very good 1-1 draw at the is it Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium in Madrid, which was brilliant. Coming up against a Fulham team who are doomed possibly to relegation.
They could even finish below West Brom at this rate.
This is the game that they have to win. But can they beat Chelsea? Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel has wonders on that defence, so I can't see them getting through that blue rear guard. So it's an all-London affair, or West London affair. I think earlier in the season,
derby, isn't it?
Earlier in the season, Chelsea won this one 1-0. I think the Blues are going to win this one again, but I'm going to go for one more goal. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Chelsea, and Fulham have only won once in 8.
Exactly, 1 win in 8 for Fulham. They're pretty much down now, and to be honest, with some of the teams they've been losing to recently, they're not losing to these teams who are above 8th in the league. If you look, I mean, out of all the teams they played last time, only one of them has actually, I think, been in the top half, and that was Man City, and all the rest they have lost. So Fulham, they pretty much seem doomed, and if that continues, then they will finish below West Brom surely. Apart from that, say no more about Chelsea. 3-0. Next up, we have got the 8 o'clock on Saturday on BT between Everton and Aston Villa. What on earth do you predict for this one? Everton in 8th, lots of draws recently. They did win last time around against Arsenal, burnt then on mistake, of course. And then Aston Villa, they didn't play last time around, so they've got a bit of a rest there. So that's going to give them an advantage, especially with patchy form recently. Difficult, 1-1 draw.
Yeah, this is a difficult one to predict. Neither team are setting the world on fire. However, Everton did get that fantastic win against Arsenal. It looks like they've got most of their midfield back as well now, like the likes of Allen. I think Corey may be injured for this one, but Sigurdsson is looking very good in the centre midfield. Rodriguez is there as well. So I fully expect Everton just to nick this one. Aston Villa only 1 win in 8. They find themselves now in 11th position, just below halfway. So it's going to be a tight game, but I think that Everton, taking confidence from that last victory against Arsenal, and with their midfield looking a lot better now, I'm going for a 2-1 Toffees win.
Interesting.
Then next up on Sunday at 2 o'clock, we've got Newcastle coming up against Arsenal. Newcastle having a very good run of form at the moment. I think it's just 1 defeat in their last 6 matches, drawing last gaps with Liverpool. You know, VAR, we could talk all night about that, but we won't. They've had victories against West Ham and Burnley, and draws against Tottenham, Aston Villa and Liverpool, so they're going to make it very difficult against Arsenal. Arsenal in Europa League action on Thursday. So will they be suffering a hangover from that? It's possible. But with Newcastle looking like that they've secured their Premier League status for another season, they probably need one more win, perhaps a couple of draws, and they'll be fine. However, in this one, I've got a sneaky feeling that it's either going to be a draw or an away win, but I think I'm just going to go with the Gunners 2-1.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same. I'm keeping it on the safe side, really. But honestly, it would not surprise me, considering Newcastle's latest form and Arsenal being a bit meh, if they get the victory in this one. So I'm literally doing this prediction to play it safe and get the points, really. So 2-1. Next up, we've got Man United versus Liverpool in that rivalry, as they so call it. Now, last time around, it was a 0-0 draw, but look at where the teams are now. 1 in 6th and 1 in 2nd in amazing form. This is our 4:30 on Sky, if anyone's wondering as well. Difficult. Mind, it is at Old Trafford, and Liverpool, I believe, have only won twice in something ridiculous, like 15 years or something ridiculous.
But their away form this season has been very good.
Their away form has been very good and have struggled at Anfield. This is tricky, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 Man United victory.
Wow, another Man United win. The Man United fans won't be happy with you on that one, Nathan. Difficult one to predict. This was 0-0 earlier in the season. I think it's going to be a repeat scoreline of that one. A drab 0-0. They'll cancel each other out. Possibly Liverpool having the better chances, but I'm going to go for a 0-0 score line in this one. And next up, we have on Sunday at 7:15 in the evening, we've got Spurs coming up against Sheffield United. Sheffield United should be able to play, with Frida being relegated now, but coming up against a Spurs side with Ryan Mason now in charge, youngest Premier League manager ever, 29 years old. Wow. I expect them to bounce back after that Carabao Cup defeat against
that's what happens when you sack Mourinho before a cup final at the end of the day.
Yeah, but come on, any manager would have struggled in that match anyway, with having so little time to prepare against Manchester City.
Yeah, but if they would have kept Mourinho, they would have won it, I reckon.
You reckon?
Mourinho in cup finals?
I'm not so sure.
Mourinho in cup finals?
No, I'm not so sure. So I think this is going to be a straightforward victory to Spurs. Harry Kane, not sure injury wise, I think he'll probably be back for this actually, so I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Spurs.
Interesting. I'm actually going to go one better on that. I think Ryan Mason is taking him time to get used to the job and everything, even though he's being led by Ledley King in the background, who, just a reminder, he did get sacked from Southend United not so long ago, and that was completely dire to watch as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work at Spurs as well. It's either going to be really good or a disaster, I think, but they got to make a statement here, and they got to do it big. 3-1. Next up, we've got West Brom versus a struggling Wolves, you could say. 2 wins in 6, finding it difficult. By the way, this is on Monday at 6 o'clock. Monday Night Football, of course. Tricky. But saying that, Wolves have actually played Fulham and Sheffield United in the last few games and have actually won it by a 1-goal margin, but struggled against everyone else. They lost 4-0 to Burnley, of all teams, last time around. That is shocking. And then West Brom, they're grinding out results and draws. This is difficult. I was thinking about putting West Brom 2-1, but I think Nuno's got again piped until the end of the year, so I'm going to say 2-1 Wolves.
Yeah, this could go in either direction. You could see Wolves winning this one. You could see the Baggies winning this one. It is a tricky
Black Country derby.
It depends on who turns up on the day. It finished 3-2 to West Brom earlier in the season, I believe it was. I think I might have to look up that scoreline, but in this one, I'm actually going to go for another victory to West Brom. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Baggies, but Wolves could win. And finally, we have got Burnley coming up against West Ham, which is the last match of the week. 8:15 kick-off on Monday evening. Now, Burnley having a fantastic 4-0 victory last time out against Wolves away. Can they repeat this against West Ham? It's going to be a very interesting match. It looks like they're probably safe. Maybe another win or a draw to secure their Premier League status. West Ham really need to pull out everything because they're in 5th position, 3 points behind Chelsea. They really need to win this one if they want to get in those Champions League positions. I think they will, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 scoreline.
Interesting. interesting. Yeah, I've got exactly the same as you. West Ham 2-1. They just want to keep pushing for Europe. They have had some tricky fixtures, and obviously that shock result against Newcastle, of course. But they've been grinding them out mostly, you could say. But yeah, 2-1 West Ham, and this should basically confirm them European football for next year.
So that concludes our predictions for week 34 of the 2020-21 season. As usual, I'm going to be leaving a template of these fixtures in the description if you want to play along at home or continue to play along and climb up that predictions league table. Then make sure you leave your predictions. Top scorer will get a shout out in the next video. And also, if I can, on Friday evening, I will be drawing somebody at random. Maybe I'll put another little video out for that one to represent you guys, the viewers. Now, before we go, Nathan, coming to the end of the season, do we have any streams left?
Yes, this weekend, Birmingham City, 3 o'clock on Saturday. No midweek again next week, and then midday on Sunday next week, 12:30, I believe it is. Cardiff City versus Rotherham, I believe, in the last day of the season. Subscribe below, guys.
Yes, indeed, and subscribe to this channel as well. Fantastic. We are coming to the end of the season. I think, what have we got now? About 4 or 5 fixtures left of this season, another 5 weeks, so it's getting
5 games left.
Getting very interesting. Looks like Manchester City have got it all wrapped up. It's just whether that Fulham, can they pull themselves out of that relegation zone? Can West Brom, will Brighton pop down into it? It's looking like it's going to remain as it is. It's very interesting though with those Champions League positions. Hopefully West Ham maybe can get in there, or even Liverpool if they beat Man United this weekend and this game on, and that is the game of the week. Before we go there, Nathan, nap of the week.
Whew, difficult one. Difficult. I always go for the obscure. I am going to say... Ooh, this is difficult.
Well, I'm going to go Chelsea anyway. That's mine.
Chelsea, interesting. I'm going to go Leeds Brighton based on last week.
Fantastic. So there we are, Nathan. Before we go though, is there anything else you'd like to add? Not at all? No, thanks. Thanks as always for tuning in, watching us give our predictions. Make sure you leave your predictions, I've already said. But for now, we'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Cheers, guys.